It was a big day for Jake. After months of applying, he finally landed an interview for his dream job at a marketing firm. He had spent the night preparing, reading up on the company, practicing his answers, and picking out his best suit. He was ready, or so he thought. The morning of the interview, Jake woke up late. He jumped out of bed, looked at the clock, and realized he had only 30 minutes to get to the office. Panic set in. He threw on his suit, skipped breakfast, and rushed out the door, forgetting his briefcase on the kitchen counter. The bus ride was a blur. He arrived at the office building just in time, but as he walked into the lobby, he realized something horrifying. He had forgotten to put on socks. His shoes, shiny and polished, were now barefooted. He tried to ignore it, hoping no one would notice. When he reached the elevator, he realized he had forgotten to comb his hair. It stuck out in every direction, like he had just woken up from a nap. "It's fine," he whispered to himself. "It's just one interview. How bad could it be?" The elevator doors opened to the marketing firm's floor, and Jake walked toward the receptionist, trying to act confident. "I'm here for the interview with Mr. Thompson," he said. The receptionist looked at him and raised an eyebrow. "You're Jake, right? The one who emailed us about wearing no socks *." Jake's face turned bright red. Yes, that's me," he stammered. Decided to go for a more casual look. The receptionist smiled. "Well, you're definitely standing out, that's for sure." With his heart pounding, Jake sat down in the waiting area, trying to ignore the fact that his feet were cold and his hair was a mess. He spent the next few minutes practicing his answers, but all he could think about was his lack of socks. Finally, Mr. Thompson walked in. He smiled, shook Jake's hand, and motioned for him to follow him into the interview room. As they sat down, Mr. Thompson pointed at Jake's feet. "I have to say, I've never seen someone so. Bold asterisk in a job interview." Jake chuckled nervously. "Yeah, well, I like to keep things interesting." The interview went surprisingly well, despite the lack of socks and hair disaster. By the end of it, Jake felt confident that he had nailed it. Mr. Thompson stood up and extended his hand. "Well, Jake, I've got to say, you've got style *. We'll be in touch soon?" Jake smiled, relieved. As he left the office, he couldn't help but laugh. Maybe next time he'd remember the socks.